morning. It's the morning DNA for October 5th. That's right. It's October 2020.
Oh, yeah, that happened.
And I am Aaron Dicer, the man of a single black shirt. She is Danae says, or Danae Hughes, either one, either way you want to go. And she is the woman of a million distractions, including about to spill her coffee all over
I'm not.
her electronic equipment.
No.
And we are here to see what the morning is made of. That is the morning DNA. And thanks to the dozens of people who are watching, we appreciate
There's more than dozens.
We appreciate you hanging out.
There's more than one dozen.
That's why I pluralized it. That's why I said dozens.
But then wouldn't dozens be like 24 at least?
Yeah. It was over 24 for a second there. You know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Maybe you missed it.
I have to tell you guys, I don't know if it bothers you guys as much as it bothers me. And good morning to my beloved friends that are watching from the platform that shall not be named. I actually get to see Abby soon. Next weekend, we're going to be doing an event in Branson. It's really, really cool. We're going to be lining the streets of in Branson, just waving to people, saying hello and giving love. And so she's a pretty cool person. If you're on that platform, I give her a follow. But anyway, I'm not sure if it bothers you guys as much as it bothers me, but like this light that I'm using, it's constantly changing how this room is lit. And I don't know.
It's not the light. It's the camera.
Oh, okay.
The camera has a white balance, auto white balance feature.
Aaron?
And well,
it's making me crazy, Aaron.
we got you.
Aaron,
we got. Listen,
See, he's doing it right now.
We got you a different camera. We just have to figure out how to set it up in there for you.
Oh, you mean this isn't going to work? Just this little mount like this, just this thing sticking out of it? That's not going to work.
Find some duct tape. Just duct tape that thing on somewhere.
Maybe I could like just duct tape it to the back of my computer.
Sure.
That'll work.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm distracted by that. I'm very distracted this morning, but that's part of the intro, so I guess that's normal.
Yeah, I don't know that any of us are surprised that you are distracted by
things.
Oh
my gosh, I have to throw up this comment from Slav who says that Branson, it's like Vegas if it was run by Ned Flanders.
This is true. This is true. This is true.
It's really true.
It is very, very true.
Nick says no, it's March 206th. I feel that.
Yeah,
I saw
definitely.
a meme over the weekend that was like January, February, and then I think it just said Corona, December.
Well,
also accurate.
Who knows how if December will also be included? At this point,
right?
Who knows what is going to happen with any of this stuff? But
on the good morning train, Sargo says it's not the light, it's not the camera, it's the action. That's probably true. Me moving around is she's doing it again.
Yes.
Sorry.
I mean, you've already admitted that you're probably the one it bothers the most. Even if other people see it, it's not going to bother them as much as it bothers you.
I'm having incredible light sensitivity today. And so it's extra today.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just turn this light off. Let's see what happens.
It will get dark. Yeah. See?
This is why you guys watch the show.
We are now about to enter into 23 straight minutes of Danae playing with her lights.
Can you imagine? Oh, I actually didn't want to turn that back on. How was your weekend, friend?
It was good. It's it's marching band season around here. My boys are always in marching band, and so there was another marching band adapted marching band competition where there's social distancing and it's not really a competition. It's more of just like an instructional. So yeah. It is what it is. Everybody's living a kind of a different life right now, and we're definitely included in that.
That's interesting.
How about you?
Normal weekend, although we did have a chance to clean the house. Isn't this an exciting thing to talk about, everybody? Listen, when you have a 3-year-old and someone watches the child for you, like my husband and I were like, we're going to eat quietly. We're going to play a game of Sagrada without interruption, and then we're going to clean the house. So it was a fantastic experience. Highly recommend it.
That's nice.
It does feel good to get your house like back to normal or to like clear your space out. So I guess I'm going to continue that boring conversation, like spoiler alert for my
your
topic today.
Oh, that's cool. Well, before we get into kind of the rest of the show, Just an update from our amazing Team DNA members. We are welcoming Anthony to the family as a member of Team DNA. I feel like I need like the come on for Google gods. Come on for Google gods. Yeah, exactly. No, but Anthony is part of Team DNA now. So thank you very much.
Gosh.
We appreciate you. That means we are now
Thank you.
2 away from the next milestone, and 2 more members of Team DNA, and you get to pick a different shirt for me to wear for an entire week. And by week, Danae wants to make sure that you know we mean 5 days of shows.
Yes, we decided that later in the week last week that it's not just a normal week. It has to be 5 days of wear. Because on the off chance that we don't go live,
right,
except for Monday, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
So.
Or awesome. Depending on if you're the person who has to wear the shirt. So
hey, it's been a week. I forgot. Yeah. When do I read our cool?
It's the first thing we do when we get into the show proper. You ready to shoe the dough?
Let's do it.
All right, let's shoe a dough. We're going to kick it off with the FAQs, the friendship application questions. We do this every Monday. Danae, what's the
randomness, for
the new
purposes.
FAQ for today?
All right, this one's pretty easy, guys. And again, these are questions for friendship and like if you want to be friends. I made this years ago, and then I found it when I was cleaning out my stuff.
Is that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says, "Pick me. There's no PB and J without PB." And then it says, "Pick me. I'm way cuter. Tee hee." And then it says, "Cries. Oh my God, please pick me. I'm all natural, and I hold these 2 together."
So I have some thoughts before we get into the question on your peanut butter and jelly characters. Number 1, spread that stuff to the edges, please. Nobody likes to bite like just bread around the edges. Like, come on, you got to spread that stuff out. Secondly, are you making a sandwich with 3 pieces of bread? Because
I don't know if I'm guessing I found this image somewhere.
Yeah. Well,
because I don't know that or somebody made it. Which, listen, there was downtime when I worked at this job, a lot of downtime, and a lot of really bored people.
I have metaphysical questions about the existence of these sentient pieces of bread with different toppings on them, because it sounds like the peanut butter and the jelly are talking, but it looks like the bread is the part that has hands and legs. And so,
no, they all have hands and legs.
No, I know, but when you get to the peanut butter and jelly parts, is it the peanut butter talking, or is it the bread with peanut butter on it talking?
I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah.
So, like,
I don't know.
Is there sentient peanut butter with a face on sentient bread with arms and legs, or is it just one creature with peanut butter on his face? I'm just saying these are the important questions if you're going to put that in front of me.
I agree. Also, I want to apologize for anyone who's listening to the podcast and can't see it at all.
That's true. That's fair enough.
It's just bread with stuff spread on it, but not to the edges.
If you would like to see it, you can head to youtube.com/Aaron and Danae. So
Nick points out that the bread seems like a whiner. So.
They all seem like a whiner.
And Elizabeth, she's going to come right alongside you and say that you're asking the real questions, Aaron.
It's important. These are the important things we have to ask.
Okay, so here's question number 3.
Okay.
Which came first? Eggs?
Okay.
Spuds?
Okay.
Chickens?
Okay.
Or Oreos?
Okay.
These are the important questions I have on my friendship application.
Which came first? Spuds, eggs,
chicken, and Oreos.
Chicken or chickens?
That says chickens.
Chickens, plural. Eggs, spuds, chickens, or Oreos.
Now, the person who filled out this form many, many years ago said Oreos.
Oreos came first.
I love this world that he's creating.
Well, no. I'm going to choose Oreos as well. And I'm just going to assume
really?
I'm going to assume the question is talking about like what you eat first when you're presented with those options. And so, or maybe which is leaving your body first after you eat all of those things.
I think I'm going to, you can't take my friendship application too seriously. I'm going spuds for sure because I love spuds. I love potatoes.
Yeah.
If there was a potato in front of me, an egg, okay, I guess it depends on how the spud is prepared. And the egg for that, and the chicken, all of it, but Oreo is ready to consume. You are right, Aaron.
I'm just saying the Oreo's right there ready to pop in the mouth. I don't want to take a bite out of a raw potato.
But I love spuds, man. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah, I hear you.
Cyragdo says he or she, I apologize, misses potatoes. I don't know why you would miss them. Are you allergic now?
Hey, you never know. Could be a famine
Skadorva says eggs came before chicken, and spuds were domesticated 10,000 years ago. We have somebody who is a historian of the egg in the chat.
Fun times.
Matthew says, well, the first thing that comes first in what to eat, Oreos will always supersede anything.
That's what I'm saying. This question isn't that hard. Oreos first.
Sarcastic honey badger
cookies. Oh,
Hydrox cookies came before Oreos. I don't know what those are.
It's like a imitation Oreo, although Sarcastic Honey Badger is saying they came first, so maybe Oreo is an imitation Hydrox. Either way, no thank you.
Well, you want to do some quick Googling? It's my favorite part of the show.
Also, no thank you to Steven, who says double stuff Oreos are the best. Wrong. They're the worst.
I love double stuff Oreos.
Oreo thins are the best. As little of that stuffing stuff as possible. That's the gross part. The cookie's the good part.
I mean, is this a fun thing? Like, what a weird friendship application this is, causing just such a fun random conversation about our preferences for food. Slab says spuds take longer to cook, so they are first. I understand that logic.
Kennan's comment, Oreos, because my velociraptor might eat the others. I want it to be safe.
Nice call out the previous questions.
Call back from Kennan. Call back.
Oh my gosh.
Matt says, and on the second day, God created cream-filled chocolate cookies, and behold, they were okay. And on the third day, God created milk, and behold, it was much, much better.
Bravo.
That's
I missed
my
that Bible
scripture
verse.
reading voice.
Yeah, that was really good. That sounded really like reverent, holy.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's my narration, documentary narration voice.
Yeah. Well, you've got to really, I don't know if people know that about you, that you do like voiceover work and such. You have that ability.
I occasionally do. It's fun when somebody will go to work at Lowe's and they'll be like, I heard somebody that sounded just like you in my Lowe's training videos. And I'm like, that was me.
I do
the Lowe's training videos. I'm that guy.
I remember when you would get those scripts in the studio and you'd have to like do your voiceover work. And it always shocked me because you're never, I don't know if embarrassed is the right word. I guess
self-conscious.
Self-conscious. You were never really self-conscious. And so I would be able to sit in the studio with you while you did your voiceover work. But like if I had to do anything for voiceover, it was like clear the area. I need to be alone.
Yeah.
Like
but the stuff if it was performative, I might have cleared the area.
That's true.
It was really, it's instructional videos or, narration is just.
Yeah, that's different. You're right.
Talk to your supervisor if such and such happens. If ever you find that a hammer has put it through your thumb, please contact the emergency personnel on site.
That was never something you actually said, right?
As far as you know, I didn't have anything like that for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been fantastic.
Peanut butter on an Oreo. What are you doing, Kennan? What are you doing? Why? Why, Kennan? Why? All right, we need to move on. Let's get to the DNA and you. We like to have a topic from each of us that includes D, Danae, A, Aaron, and you. So be thinking about what your topic or question this morning will be. We can't wait to hear it. And if you want to go ahead and put it in the chat now, you are welcome to do that. But please put the letter U before your question, like U : question, that kind of thing, so that we can spot it easier when we go back through the questions.
You see that? I was super doing it, man.
Thank you, Vanna Danae White.
I'm like the D and the N, man.
Is this the A? Can't you just do this?
Shut up.
Can you just stick those thumbs out and make the A?
Hey.
Does an A have to be an upside down V?
Gotta keep it super simple for me.
Sure.
It's Monday, man.
Yeah, totally.
Super, super simple.
All right, Danae, kick us off with the D topic. What do you got?
All right, so my topic today is what is the ninja chore? One that suddenly appears out of nowhere. I swear to Pete, I just put the toys away is my reference. Because I felt like last time that I did my topic, It wasn't clear what I was trying to say, so I've decided that maybe I need to write paragraphs for my topic.
Yes, I've
now.
noticed that. Eventually, we are probably a week away from Danae's question taking up the entire screen. This is just how
It was a
Danae works.
Thursday. It was late afternoon. The sun was shining through my window.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, perhaps I could do topic on, I don't know, pizza crust.
Is that about what's going to happen?
Instead of what is your favorite pizza crust? That is Danae's version of that topic.
No, I mean, as I kind of mentioned, we had a nice little cleaning moment where we just ran through the house and actually got to put some stuff away. Iris is not developing consistent cleaning habits. We're not really like forcing her to just like put everything away, although she's really good at some things. Anyway, the ninja chore is what I decided it was called because we clean the house. She appears back in the home and then I turn around and suddenly there was like 3 toys, completely unexpected places. One was in the bathroom on the sink. One was in my bed on my pillow. She put one of her little beds or her little animals to bed, which was actually kind of cute. And then the other one was like in the middle of the floor. And I'm just like, this is life. I understand. She's 3. I am not the kind of person, if you know me, and those who don't, you just have to trust me when I say this. I am super okay with chaotic living. To a certain degree, it's okay. Like things everywhere, piles and stuff is how I was raised. And so, but I've been like trying to tweak myself to go into the clean area, or even my friend Abby, who is a minimalist, who just, you walk in and every surface is just a surface and everything has a place. And it's just like this a magical world. You're kind of like that, Aaron. You're sort of like the blend of the two.
Interesting.
Where you have things, but they all go somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know when that started. My brain really likes order and efficiency. And so the idea that everything should have a place. I'm also very minimalistic, and I know that is that can be at issue with others too, because people like things available and I like them put away. And, I like all counters, tables, like completely clear,
don't
things
look at the
in
studio
corners.
table right now, though.
Like, yes, you don't. Yes, coming in this room is a nightmare for me right now.
It's chaos in there right now.
It is chaos in here right now. And I think that's part of what you're talking about. Like, I'm okay with chaos. Like, it's not to the point where it affects my well-being, but I do prefer when I'm cleaning that things be like, even if like you've got to have the coffee maker on the kitchen counter, I want it in a corner. I don't want it in the middle of the, like, I just want as much surface real estate as possible. And
I've been learning that there's a real beauty to that, but then developing the patterns and the habits to get there is tricky. And so I'm really proud of myself in this new house because you have a clean slate, you got a clean start, and I've been doing pretty good. But it was insane to me that it was within just minutes I turned around and it was like the clean slate started to have artwork on it, as I like to call it. And within like 24 hours, we have the kitchen clutter pile is back and all these things are happening. And I think it starts with that first ninja chore, that ninja place. It's like, was that first thing for us? It was the toys. They broke the scene and then everything else just flooded in. And so,
I think I've got a lot of thoughts here. The first thing that came to mind when you're talking about how clutter starts is junk mail. And it just lands on the kitchen table or it lands somewhere on a kitchen counter and then it just starts to pile up. And it's just like, at some point,
my friend, oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I almost said delete it. You just got to delete that stuff.
You got to delete it, guys.
Clear it out of the inbox.
So my friend Teresa, she's a professional organizer. She has encouraged my husband, who gets the mail, to just, before it even comes in the house, just put it in the trash before he comes in. And I have this weird thing where I have to open it and then see if there's anything important in there, like personal information, and then I shred stuff. But then I have to be in a shredding mood, and so it piles up. But you're absolutely right. There's like clutter. There's signs that you're kind of like outside of your, like where like the hot zone.
But if you talk about ninja chores, we've got some great ones here. I think Elizabeth has the granddaddy of them all because laundry is never done. And the reason laundry is never done, unless you're me, is because,
You do
there's-
laundry.
No, but it's done because I've only got one outfit. So I just do that outfit once a week and then laundry's done. See, that's
Wait,
how it works.
whoa.
Yeah.
You only wash your clothes once a week?
Why would you wash them more than once a week? I don't understand.
Goodbye,
I'm confused.
everybody.
I'm confused. What is the...
Been great knowing you. What? But if it gets dirty, you clean it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Just
I
wanna
wash
make
my
sure.
workout clothes every day.
I
Like
am
stuff
around
sweat in,
you.
that kind of
You
stuff.
don't smell like feces.
Well, thank you. What an amazing compliment, Danae Hughes. I appreciate that so much.
I know.
Have a friend that will let you know you don't smell like feces.
Hey.
Those are the best kind.
You do. I'm going to tell you if there's something in your teeth or hanging out
Sure, of course.
off your pants when you walk out of the bathroom. And if you smell like poop, I'll tell you.
No, there's always laundry to be done, and as soon as you do it, there's more to do. So yeah,
I
that's
don't even
that's
count
definitely a big
laundry
one.
anymore.
Matthew says leaves in the yard and on the deck. I'm looking at a blanket of them now. Yeah, this is the ninja chore in the fall for sure. This is why you just don't care about leaves. See, that's the thing. That's how you solve this one. You just don't care.
No.
Apathy is your friend.
Unless if you want to have the patchy yard, then don't care about the leaves.
Yeah.
But if you care about your yard being one
Listen,
color.
You want to go off on a bunny trail here because yard pressure is something I could talk about for a long time. The idea that your yard's supposed to look a certain way, it has nothing to do with the health of your home. It's all appearance based. Like, let your grass grow. I don't care. Live in a forest. What does that have to do with me? Yard pressure is the worst. I think it is one of those, it's right up there with like parent shaming and yard shaming, man. Like, just let it go. I don't care.
Go off, Aaron.
Make it look how you want to look. It's yours.
Punch it, man.
I don't know.
Man, I don't think I've seen you that intense before.
Kenan,
Slightly uncomfortable.
Kenan says getting dog hair off the couch or doing dishes.
Okay, I
Me no
super
liking.
read that wrong, Kenan. I read getting dog hair off of the couch or dishes.
Well, hey, listen, if you've got dog hair on the dishes, probably do want to take care of that. I'm not going to lie. That
Dog
would be-
hair, we used to have a St. Bernard, and she's a shedder. You couldn't get, there was just no living without dog hair at that point.
Yeah.
Steven says, I would clean up all the dog's toys and put them in his toy bin. And as soon as I do that, he would go and decide now he wants to play with all of his toys and pull 5 of them out.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
I need to teach my dogs how to put them back in for treats. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah.
Like there's
for
dogs
sure.
who can go to refrigerators and open it up and retrieve beverages for their owners. Why can't I train the dog to put the toys back away?
Nick
But
says
that
the
is
kid-
one that I forgot. Yeah.
Nick says the kid's bathroom mirror. As soon as I do it, they brush their teeth, and it looks like they sneeze toothpaste all over it. Listen, kids are the factor here, and Danae, you are realizing that more and more. And
It's a lot.
And you've just got one. I'm just saying, like multiple kids in the house, it just absolutely multiplies the inability to keep things clean. I have so much grace for parents, especially parents of young children. I know you feel self-conscious if I walk in your home that there's toys all over or whatever.
Oh my
Don't.
gosh.
That's normal. In fact, it's healthy in many ways because it means you have a house that's being lived in. You
Yeah.
know, and that your kid has a place to explode. And I think that's good. So yeah, lots of grace for young parents, especially.
Yeah. When do the children go from young to? 'Cause,
Well,
like, what's the cutoff?
listen, teenager is a whole different kind of mess, and that's you remember your own bedroom as a teenager. So yeah, definitely.
Oh my
Definitely,
goodness.
definitely.
So, you're getting some love for your yard rant,
Thank you. Listen,
and also some suggestions to just mow it, mow the yard, mow those
do that.
leaves.
you can do that.
Instant
I'm just saying,
mulch.
even if you don't want to mow your yard, don't mow your yard. I know the city wants to make you, and I just think that's silly. Like, have long yard. Who cares? Who cares?
Skyscraper says
It's
we
just appearance.
I'm sorry, that's just really funny. Skyscraper says we just accept that we eat a certain amount of dog hair every day.
It's true. It's true. It's like that fake stat that you swallow X
So
number of
many
bugs every time you
spiders or
sleep.
something.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That urban legend.
Yeah, that's an urban legend, everybody. Don't believe that and then talk about it on live on air as if it's true.
listen,
don't do
anybody doing what we do has unfortunately broadcast an urban legend a time or two.
Yeah, it's hard not to. Doing your research
on
on what you read on the internet takes time and energy, something not everyone wants to spend doing. The one thing about tall grass is about ticks, says Scott. Scott says the one thing about not wanting high grass is that ticks are bad. That's super true. Also, like those little chiggers
rolling
and
around
stuff.
in your tall grass? Like
who doesn't? Who doesn't just run to the yard and roll around?
Your grass is so high that you're like in Gladiator and you're Russell Crowe, like rubbing your hand over the top of your grass as you're walking through your yard.
That's right. Isn't that as? Oh, I don't want to spoil a movie that's really, really old, so I won't.
Well, then don't.
Hiding in the yard. Slab says ticks, snakes, mole people.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you have mole people or gnomes or fairies living in your yard, just try to create them a little safe space, a little habitat to live in. I love that my mom did that. Anyway, that's that's another day. Hold on, I'm gonna write down this topic while I'm thinking of it.
Okay, go for it.
I can't say it out loud.
Instant show prep with Danae Hughes.
Yeah, this is
all right. We ready
life.
to move on to the A topic then?
Do it.
It's my topic for today. What do you love that existed before you did? What is something that was in the world and popular before you were born that is just one of your favorite things?
I got mine.
This came to me because I was thinking about last night. My parents came over and we were playing cards. We like to play a game called Shanghai. It's a lot of fun. But I put on a 50s and 60s music playlist, and it was just all the hits from the 1950s and the 1960s. And it was just so fun because we all knew them all. We were all singing the words. And I just remember growing up with a lot of those songs and things that my parents loved from when they were growing up, but became kind of mine too. And so, we're
That's
singing
cool.
Who Put the Bop in the Bop, Shoo-wop, and, all those kind of,
Bang,
run
bang,
around
diggy,
Sue.
diggy. I don't remember.
Yeah. So, so it's one of those things where you just love something that isn't necessarily supposed to be your era, but for whatever reason you have a like nostalgic attachment to it. And yeah, we just, listened for a couple hours to great music. So
That's cool. It's interesting because I'm kind of watching some of the comments come in, and there was instantly this flood of music.
Yes, music is a big one. Yeah.
And you said, what do you love that existed before you did? And I went toilet paper.
Come on, you find toilet paper useful.
So great. It's so great.
You love toilet paper.
Thank God for toilet paper.
You're just going through your day and you're just like, you know what I love?
Toilet paper,
man.
Hey, when you've had somebody that's traveled to like the ends of the world with like Peace Corps and stuff, and they bring back stories about how other people have to use the bathroom around the world, you're thankful for the simple things. And so, and that wasn't like a comment even for like coronavirus situation. It was the first thing that popped into my mind. Like, and maybe it's beyond just TP. Maybe it's just like in general, how easy we have it with our home, like environment. Most of us at the very least.
Lots of great stuff here. Lots of great stuff from our viewers.
Yeah.
Scott says big band swing music. Yes, 100% yes. Love the big band era.
Music. That's so smart. And as you were talking, I was thinking about like music and artists that my parents introduced me to. So yeah, like Cat Stevens was somebody that I would have never listened to, but now I have this bond with Cat Stevens.
Slab says my parents. I mean, that's a good call. That's a good call, Slab. It's very nice.
I'm glad that you enjoy them.
Sarcastic Honey Badger says Oreos.
True to your name.
Yep.
Just Haba says Skadorova. Yeah, see? More music.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that Nick agrees with me. It's just scrolled by. Hold on a second. Let me go back. Toilet paper is the answer. Thank you.
This is a sweet one. Scott says, my wife is 15 days older than me, so I'm going to say that.
Oh, that's cute.
Nice.
I love that.
Jake, I love your choices too. Jazz, good choice. The Beatles, great choice. And Carol Burnett, also a great choice.
She's great.
Yeah, for sure.
I only know her from the commercials, but she's great.
Nick says Star Wars. Why is this always my answer? And that answer makes me feel old because I was born before Star Wars was. About a year or 2 years. Was it 76 or 77? I think it was 77. I think I was born 2 years before Star Wars came out. So.
And then Steven adds, does Star Wars count?
Of course it does. If you were born after Star Wars, of course it counts. Yeah.
Ooh. 8417 says bacon.
Yeah. I do like Kevin Bacon. He's good in a lot of stuff. Tremors. Yeah. He's really good in Tremors.
Here's one from Lolly. My family play an old Victorian parlor game called Is That Your Bill? It's hard to explain succinctly, but it involves lying on the floor blindfolded. Okay, I don't know if I should keep reading. I'm kidding. Lying on the floor blindfolded and hitting each what with a rolled up newspaper.
Yeah. Who hasn't played that?
I don't know if we're getting trolled. Lolly, I know you would never make something crazy up, would you? Lolly.
That's amazing. Shout out to the Dick Van Dyke Show from Scott. Agree, totally. Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals. Yes. Gin mentioned as well.
Gin is delicious. Oh, here's Kenan adding not just a paper, double ply. Amen. I mean, how good do we have it?
Exactly. You don't appreciate the things you have until you had to poop in a hole in the floor.
That's exactly what I'm saying, you guys. Without actually saying it that way. That is what I was saying. Thank you.
I mean, so, where do we go? I appreciate the fire and water and...
See? Now you're thinking.
Yes.
Steven's thankful for Aaron and Danae, who existed before.
Aw,
that's really sweet.
Although, I'm going to get technical here. Did Aaron and Danae exist before Steven? Or did Aaron exist and Danae existed? Because Aaron and Danae didn't exist until what?
Oh, that's true. 2011.
2011? So,
good point.
Somebody who is 9 could say that, but I don't know.
And if they're very aware of us, which would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Mariella says vaccines. Also a great choice.
Super good choice
as well.
9. I don't know why Cyrego said that, but
no, you're good. Ready to head on to the you topic? We're going to take a look at your topics or questions. Now, anything goes. Feel free to ask any question you want to ask us. We may not answer it. That, of course, is our choice, but we would love to hear what you want to know. So, again, just put a you at the front so we can identify it as a you question or you topic. It can be a question, topic, anything you want us to talk about. Danae, you got one to pull up?
Yes, but it's just funny because it starts with the U, but it's actually not related to this at all. It was whenever Lolly was saying UK didn't get spuds until we visited America.
Tricky Lolly. Putting a U at the front. But not in the way that we meant.
Oh my gosh. All right. So this one comes from Mariella says, you topic. Do you have an Oscars Best Picture, Best Actor, Actress predictions? And I'm going to leave this one to you, Mr. Aaron.
No, I mean, in a year like this, I don't even know how to begin thinking about that, to be honest. And the Oscars have already said they're taking movies through, February? So, it's not even going to be this year, and most of the movies that are going to be in conversation, as always, are going to be movies that come out later in the year. I happen to have seen The Trial of the Chicago 7 that comes out on Netflix in a couple weeks, and I think there's some performances from that'll probably get attention. I think that movie will probably get attention. But in a year like this, man, anything could happen. You could see Elizabeth Moss getting a nomination for Invisible Man. You know what I mean? There's just such a dearth of stuff that's come out. But I think it will heat up because they're going to start releasing some more quote unquote Oscar bait films here in the next couple months, and we'll see how that goes.
I wanted to circle back to a comment that I missed that I have seen now regarding when we were talking about mole people and mulch. Matt added that you just mow over the mole people and you also have instant mulch.
I have audio of Danae thinking about mowing over little creatures and the reaction that she had. And
yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we should release that sometime. This question comes from Elizabeth, who says, "What instruments do your kids play in marching band?"
Tubas. My 2 that are in right now play the tuba. My 2 that were in before played the mellophone in marching band, which is the French horn in concert band. So basically the sound of the French horn for marching is stretched into more like a trumpet kind of thing called the mellophone, in case you're unfamiliar with that. So mellophone, tuba. is kind of how my kids have gone.
I think Jake was saying this in response to the on the floor beating each other thing, but Jake adds that sounds like bore on the floor. So maybe this is a thing. I don't know.
That is a reference to a TV show called Succession, and a very insane, demeaning game that the rich people played. And that show.
Leave it to me to bring up a really awkward comment. You're welcome.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not awkward. It's fun. It's actually really funny to relate bore on the floor to that. But I don't know that a lot of people necessarily would get that.
Also, Skadarva says, to Danae's point, people say that they want to live back in time, but wouldn't act. It would be horrible. I just wanted to say, even though this wasn't a you topic, I have thought about this so many times. Like, would you go in the future? Would you go into the past? I just feel like if I go into the past, I would be like considered some kind of a witch or something. I would be like, instantly people would be afraid of me and want to kill me. And so I don't know that I would go back in history because I would be such a.
You'd have to be very, very careful with your knowledge.
Well, that not only my knowledge, but just being like a strong female. Like imagine me going back whenever women had to be like really quiet and control themselves. Like how would I do that? I would instantly be a bad thing. Daniel asks, favorite CinemaSins video? Ooh, that's a hard one.
That's a tough one.
That's a really, really hard one. There's a lot of them that I think that I'm really, really proud of, but
that's kind of where my brain goes too. I think that's just normal for us to think that way of like I think of Skyscraper as one that I wrote with Jeremy that I really love how it turned out. And it's kind of the first one, in writing where I was like, oh, this is really fun, and it got a lot of good response. So yeah,
mine are more emotional and personal. Chicken Little was one, mostly because I really channeled being a writer differently, and so I found that writing process to be pretty awesome.
Nick says, how did you get the Lowe's training video gig? Did you do any other kind of VO work? Does Danae do it too?
Great question.
We'll take them one at a time. Lowe's training video gig came to me. I was referenced from a voiceover friend of mine who was asked if he wanted to do the gig, and his plate was too full. And so he said, hey, are you interested in this? I'll pass your name along. And I said, yes. And so that's kind of how that one came about. Did I do any other kind of VO work? Yes. I have done regional commercials. I've done telephone stuff, just kind of pretty much the basic voiceover stuff that people do to pass the time. So yeah. And today
I have not made like an official VO profile and kind of put myself out into the professional VO community. So I would say I do not, but I have been told that it would be a good move to make. Especially since I have my own setup here at the house, I think it'd be a lot easier. Since Corona has changed the landscape of so many things. One of the things it forced me to do was actually create this setup. And so I think I probably could do something like that, when I have free time.
You see, that's the thing. What I learned when I was pursuing voiceover more intently is it really is a full-time gig to get your foot in the door. If you really want to pursue voiceover, not only do you have to have the skills and the training and continue to get better at what you do and at your craft, which takes time, you also have to constantly be submitting auditions, especially when you're starting out. Now, if you break and you hit it big and you're known as one of the big names in voiceover, then I think that eases up a little bit. But for the most part, you're constantly turning in auditions. So
the In a World guy, right?
In a World. Yeah. That guy.
Let's see.
Hold on. I gotta put this up. Sweet Chicken Sir says, you also need to have a nice voice. Hold tight there, because everybody's voice
hang on there, buddy,
is interesting, right? Because the type of voice and tone and texture that is preferred has changed throughout the years. And that often happens with a fresh voice coming in and going, why can't this be a voice that people want to listen to talk about stuff? And so don't ever sell your voice short. I think communication and acting are important. If you're going to do voiceover, you need to take acting classes because the way you perform or have inherent acting ability, because the way you perform has a lot to do with the same techniques of doing a character or performing in that way. So the voice is not the highest thing on the list as far as talent is concerned. Your voice is almost secondary or tertiary to other things that are more important. So just be aware that,
or fifth-iary or sixth-iary to it.
Yes, exactly. What
the
Danae
list
said.
just keeps on growing.
Jake says, utopic, is there a certain career field you would never want your children to go into one day? Yeah, there are plenty, actually. Most of them, for me, probably involve danger. I would not want, I'll just say the military. And I don't mean that as a slight to anyone who has served. I just mean I wouldn't want my kids in the military just because I would be concerned about their safety. And
race car driving.
That's another one. Yeah. So I think for me, the most part, I would not want them to be in professions where they could get hurt. Professional football would be another one that I genuinely would not want them to be a part of. So what about you, Danae?
Any kind of a modeling field.
That's a tough field. Yeah.
Mostly because there's just so many different people's opinions on what beauty is. And I think maybe the community is changing now. There's more voices for diversity and body normalizing what our real bodies look like versus what they need to look like for a campaign or something. But I still think that's a confusing environment. And I think that would be scary for me. Just because I would you can't really regulate how she would be filtering the feedback. Not that she needs to change like a workout regimen or her eating regimen, but more like your body isn't okay. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a little, I feel like if you're going into athletics, for example, let's say she went into some kind of athletic line, tennis or something like this, that's a lot of training too. And it's a lot of coaches telling you how you have to be as well, to be, at your top game for being an athlete. And maybe she's driven by that stuff. But I don't know. There's just something about your body isn't right that I think is just really a hard area. But that's me kind of projecting a little bit. So
I think there's something there to talk about, though, because there's also an aspect to this question that says, career field that you wouldn't want your children to go into one day, which is saying as adults. But then there's this secondary thing of certain career ideas bleed into childhood, especially performative ones, like you mentioned, athlete or actor or those kind of things can happen during childhood. That's another answer for me. I don't want my kids in any career field until, they've developed their psyche enough to be mature enough to handle the world. And that includes athletics. And I think athletics is the primary pressure point for a lot of our kids right now, where they're feeling pressure they don't need to feel. When I played basketball, I loved basketball. I was a huge part of the basketball team, but I didn't feel the pressure for it to be my 24/7 life, or that, I had to, be working on it all the time. I
there
could do
isn't
dramas and musicals on the off season. You can't do that now. So
and I as I was talking about it too, I was just thinking it kind of goes for so many different things. Just I want her to, whatever field she chooses, to have the mental fortitude to understand that when you get criticism, whether it's because you're going into corporate America or athletics or anything, that there's a difference between your boss telling you how to perform your job better and then you changing who you are fundamentally.
Yeah.
And that takes time to kind of have examples of. So good question. Really, really good question.
Steven says, what is the hardest, easiest part of doing a podcast / show? Danae, I'm going to let you answer this one first. You can pick either hardest or easiest. And what do you think?
So I'm going to go with easiest because it's easiest. For me, the easiest part is having a dependable partner. Aaron and I are really well fit to work together because we really we gel well, but we also challenge each other in a really good way. So Aaron, when he puts a show together, he has a system and he's got a plan, which allows me to be more free flowing and creative, which is where I feel really, really comfortable. Similarly, the hardest part is if I do something on my own, is trying to pull from that part that make some sort of structure where I don't usually have structure. And that's really, really hard. Which I can reference even just in recently, I was trying to launch my own podcast, And I just kept hitting wall after wall after wall. And I just canceled it. I wrote to my patron supporters, apologized profusely, and just said, I'm not going to do this. Like, I can't, there's too many things happening. I just can't do it. And it might be because I'm more partner minded. It might be just like a thing in my head, but it is hard to be creative consistently for someone who tends to lean on having a partner. That's my answer.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think for me, the most difficult part is the time management. I think when you're a creative person, you have ideas that pop into your head all the time about, ooh, what if I did? You know, I literally could tell you, and I won't because I'm saving them, but I literally could tell you 3 different podcast ideas I have right now that I think are really good, and I would be excited about doing them. I could tell you about a YouTube idea that I have right now. I could tell you about 2 different book ideas that I have of books that I could write right now that I really like and have really been bubbling in my mind. And that's just the stuff that's at the top of the list where it's like, man, I kind of want to do this. Below that, there's all this stuff that's like half formed and just like, this would kind of be fun. But I'm talking about the stuff that's already risen to the top and gone, man, I really kind of want to do this. Well, how do you do that? If you really kind of want to do 7 different things, how do you figure that out? And so I think that is the most difficult part for me as a creative person, is knowing where to put my energy, knowing what I want to release to the world, why it's important to me, what is the purpose of it, all those kind of things. We talk about this show that Danae and I are doing right now. This version of the Morning DNA has been in plans for 9 years, 8 years now, since 2012. We have wanted to do this, what we're doing now, but it's just now become something that we feel like we're really able to do. And so, that is also a difficult part of it, is the patience of understanding every idea has its day in the sun, or maybe it doesn't, but it can sit there and wait until that day, possibly comes. And you know what? If somebody else does it, because I know that's the fear a lot of times, is like, but what if somebody else takes this idea? That's okay. Because if the purpose was to get that idea out into the world, who are you to say that you were necessarily going to be the best person to do that?
It's so true.
It's a patience and an understanding of, I have stuff I want to produce. I have things I want to say. But knowing when's the time to do or say those things.
Yeah. And understanding like the project management of it, because once you start, you do want to try to find some consistency. Like, but even with Aaron and I, we've had to take breaks from this very show to pursue other things that were like, okay, it's just time to take a pause, and I don't know, giving yourself permission to have that happen from time to time. So, really, really good questions today.
Not taking the failures personal, and not even seeing them as failures, just seeing them as evolutions of change. That's huge. Moving away from something as opposed to, oh, this failed, so we're no longer doing it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most difficult for me.
And having good people that you can talk to and bounce off of and get some encouragement from if you are doing it by yourself. I think that's a big thing for me. And I know, like I said, I'm kind of more partner oriented in my motivations, because I like feedback and I like to be able to kind of bounce off of somebody else. I'm realizing more than ever, but even whenever I was trying to do something solo, I think I would have benefited from having a consistent check-in with someone, since I know that I need to have encouragement, or even just a partner behind the scenes that I can work with. Like, maybe I'm doing XYZ, but then I've got someone that I'm having that responsibility for, that partnership with, that motivation to continue to get to that next milestone. So I think also it's like finding and being okay with you not being able to do everything yourself, or paring down your project to where you can manage it yourself and it's not the big vision, and that's okay. Because like Aaron and I are talking about, it's this what we're doing now. If it is our big vision, which it's real, like if it's not this, it's so close. Like, it has been a long time in the making. So
the easiest part for me is the performative part. I've always been a performer. I've always loved the stage. I've always loved the spotlight. I like being in front of people and making them laugh. What I missed what you said.
What? I don't know.
So that's the easiest part for me. Put me in front of a camera, put me in front of a crowd. I'm gonna have a good time. I've never really. That's a different story.
Yeah,
but put me in front of a crowd.
Different.
Different. Yeah, I love that.
I do want to. When I was going through all my stuff, and I continue to go through all my stuff, I found this piece of paper, and on it I had drawn a little pen, and there's all these arrows pointing at different parts of it, and I wish I knew where it was. I would grab it. I don't have a date on it, But I was literally writing out the idea for a stylus. This is before there was a stylus.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was before there was a stylus that would pop out of a phone like mine does, right? I had drawn this and like the little button to push and everything with like these little things, how cool it would be if it opened up an app, if you could move it around. And to your point, Aaron, man, would I be rich? Man, would I? But was I the right person to bring that to light? No, I didn't know anybody that could have created that. It's just a cool idea. And sometimes we have really great ideas and as creatives, and it's just like, you're like, well, this is a really, really smart one. When I found that paper the first time, I was like, I would have been so rich. But who would I have? I lacked the follow through to be a millionaire.
All right. I invented the quesadilla, hundreds of years after it was already invented. So,
toilet paper for me. I'm kidding.
That's right. What if, guys? All right, one more. Let's do one more. This is from Lolly says, in Corona times, how has your self-care changed? How are you staying sane?
Good question.
That's a great question.
I think first I want to just say I hope you guys are staying sane. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you have someone that is texting you or calling you to check in, especially if you're still in really intense isolation. There's so much going on and there's so much pressure right now, especially for parents who have to watch their children and work from home. And there's just no end in sight and there's no break in what's happening. And like, I think we can kind of manage in general shock and change and intensity for bursts of time. I think that we kind of can dig in and dig from this, this well of energy and maybe even joy and kind of like draw. But now that we're on months and months and months and months of things changing so intensely, I was just talking to a friend of mine who is incredibly depressed, and there's just so much going on with her job and her house and everything. And it's like, I think she forgot that you have permission to not be 100% okay right now.
Right.
And that it's okay to like, when we lash out at the ones we love, or we just want to retreat and not talk to anybody anymore, or
we
whatever.
Just want to eat the 7th piece of pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to a certain degree, that's okay. Just make sure you're talking to somebody about it so that you're not building secrets and really living in shadow for too long. Let somebody see the dark stuff that's going on in your mind, the thoughts that you have, someone that you trust. And if there's not anybody that you trust that's in your life, get online and connect with a counselor, someone that you can really just be honest with about your struggles, because this is nothing that any of us have ever experienced before, but yet we're all experiencing it together. And I think that we all need to be reminded that it's okay to not be okay right now. I know that sounds super freaking cliche, but if there's ever a time to say it, we're in the middle of needing to say that to each other.
Sure.
So for me, I would say I have been trying to make sure to reach out a little bit more to certain people that I know are very isolated. Family members who live like in New York, where it's just super different landscape than it is here in the Midwest, because it's a little bit more chillax over here. Like we don't have as much going on. We're not all stacked up on top of each other, that kind of a thing. We've got more space to breathe. And so to that regard, my life hasn't changed too much. I have a job that I was already working from home. We were already living an isolated life because we lived 35 miles away. We moved home, we moved closer and haven't been able to see friends as much, if at all, and that's kind of been a bummer, but we've pretty much just been settling into our new house.
Yeah.
And so truly for me, I still have, a very similar amount of energy going on. It's not affected me as much, although we have to say no to family gatherings and parties and stuff that we're just like, we're not comfortable going into those spaces. And that might require, that kind of causes me to feel a little uncomfortable. Like, sorry, I'm not going to come to your kid's birthday party. That kind of sucks. So a little awkward, especially since there's differing opinions on things from time to time. But I think for the most part, it's just, I feel like I need to do what I'm doing now, right? Like hang out online, have fun conversation, like send you guys love and laughter, and just try to beam out something that is apart from our normal slog. You know what I'm saying? So that's
I
kind
do.
of how things are. For me, it's that.
I have two thoughts. One is, I think the complicator for all this, you kind of touched on, Danae, is during a time, the pandemic itself is complicated and is something that needs, self-care already, like, figuring out what it means to self-isolate, those kind of things. Having it come during an election year in a divided country that is kind of at each other's throats in a lot of ways adds complications to that are, it can be, for me, very saddening. The idea that somehow a health crisis becomes a political crisis, and that's just, again, a consequence of a divided political culture in a very heated time of that culture. And so that element of it is the part that weighs on me more, I think, sometimes, is like, I have friends who, believe it's pretty much a hoax and not something that's, we really should be worrying about. It's no different than the flu. Like, I have friends who believe that. And then I have friends who are like, I can't believe people are back going to restaurants and that schools are in session, So like, I have, friends who are so opposed, and to see the way our culture has treated each other is the saddening part. So for me, my self-care is trying to remember to be the person, to be a person of unity, to be a person of love, to be a person who, I'm doing my own homework. I'm trying to figure out, based on my own limited information, what's real, what's not, all those kind of things. But to be the kind of person who never loses sight of everyone's humanity and value as human beings. And that's the energy I want to put out, is keep loving each other, keep respecting each other, keep dialoguing with respect, learning how to agree to disagree, instead of fighting. And so that's kind of how I've been approaching that part of it. The very personal part of it for me, the only impact that it's had for me, a major impact, is on my health journey. I was seeing a personal trainer. I was doing great fitness work before this hit, and this ended all of that. And also the comfort eating has increased because of that. So I've gained weight, and I'm still fighting that battle. But that's the part of this that I think has had the most, as far as like a personal care aspect, that I have to kind of continue to dig my way out of and figure out, okay, what does my health journey look like during this time? Because I can't keep waiting for this time not to be this time for me to pursue that health journey. So that's, on a personal level, probably the biggest thing for me.
I loved some of the comments that were coming in from Matt, saying having a 16-month-old is what has kept me sane. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but not at all. Comes in Jeremy, who says, my kids have been the ones keeping me sane, giving me something positive to focus on.
Sure.
That's super true too. If there's activity happening in the house, it kind of keeps the time, moving quickly, and it does move quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that is something too, because, normally we would be going to like the aquarium, or we would be going to Itty Bitty City, or kind of traveling, to take her places to keep her entertained and kind of fun things. Yeah. And it's all just house. But now that we have a new house, it's kind of fun to explore and be here. So our situation, I think, is a little bit different in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Great questions.
My gosh.
Great questions. You are amazing.
We love hanging out with you guys on Mondays at 9 a.m. And we love that it's kind of just been something that we are all, tuning in to do, that we can talk across platforms. We've got people watching from YouTube channels, Facebook. I'm sorry, I said the name. Twitch, Periscope / Twitter. So, and you guys are all kind of like joining together here with us in the hub in the middle. And it's just been such a fun thing to be able to spend time with you guys and have fun conversations. We will see you. What is it, Aaron?
Oh, just two things. Number one, we are 2 people away, members of Team DNA away from the Making Me Wear a Shirt of Your Choosing for a week. So if you're interested, that's $5 a month. It supports this show. We're very appreciative of that, very thankful, and honestly humbled and surprised by how many people are hopping on and saying, hey,
unexpected.
Here's $5 a month to help keep this show going. We really do appreciate it. But that's at patreon.com/studio DNA. And secondly, make sure that you are wherever you want to watch, wherever it's best for you to watch. Make sure you're getting alerts of when we go live, because we do go live Mondays and some days. So you can come hang out with us every Monday, but then during the week, some days we'll pop in as well at 9 a.m. Central. So
we don't know when.
Yeah. So when those days hit, you want to make sure, if you want to check it out, that you have an alert that'll let you know. So
we would tell you if we knew.
Yes.
But we don't know.
That's right.
Because every morning is an adventure.
It is. Indeed, it is.
When you have a 3-year-old, you never know. But it's always Mondays at 9 a.m. Central and then some days. So yeah, like Aaron said, make sure that you, whatever platform you're watching from, make sure your like notifications are on. And also, if you're having a good time, please feel free to share. As always, we know that the best way to invite more people is you guys. We could always say, hey, we're over here. But if you guys are having fun, maybe you know somebody else who would just like to come and hang out with us. So we will see you another day, hopefully this week. But if not, Monday again at this time.
We'll see you on the next Monday or someday.
See you later. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.